Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time here. Today we're going to be watching The Wicker Man from 1973. There are 3 versions of it. The final cut seems to be the version to go with, so that is the one I'm watching today. If you want to see the full uncut reaction to this, you can see it over on the Patreon page. Let's watch The Wicker Man from 1973. Oh, this was restored to 4K, cool. There you go, a fun bit of information there from the original 35mm negative. A Summerisle film release. Creepy looking, what are they called? I know it's a carved face in wood. Sunday, 1973. So there he is.
I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you.
Interesting framing there.
And when he had given thanks, he broke it. Take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you. This oft as you drink it in remembrance of me.
This feels like it's going to be a foreshadowing for something for later, maybe. Good old sea boat there. See, the quality of this bit is much better. A minute ago, it was... Maybe they added that bit in for this version of it, the final cut, but Anthony Schaefer's The Wicker Man. Oh, it's Edward Woodward. I'm an idiot. Yes, Edward Woodward's in one of the only things I've seen him in. I know. Hot Fuzz. Scotland. On Christopher Lee. So this was the original of The Vicar of Dibley opener. I'm joking. Good old days of reading maps. I do read maps, and I had to rely on a map before because I got lost coming back from Cornwall. Very nice. I'd say for a second it sounded like it was going to be Camberwick Green or Trumpton. The wonderful fishing villages of Scotland. Corn rigs and barley rigs. I'm a big fan of fishing villages and the calm, quiet life of Scotland, Ireland, Cornwall. So I think I'm going to love this film. Ominous. Man just staring. Hello. Welcome.
Will you send a dinghy, please? Did you hear me?
Yes, we heard you.
Hello, sir. Have you lost your bearings?
Nope, this is where I'm coming to.
This is Summerisle, is it not?
It is, sir.
Now, would you send a dinghy, please?
I'm afraid it can't be done, sir. This is private property. You can't land here without written permission.
I've got the permission.
I, as you can see, am a police officer.
Oh, he's a policeman.
A policeman officer.
I, a resident of this island, like a missing child. Now, that makes it a police matter. Now, will you send a dinghy, please?
They're all in on it together. They made the kid go missing.
Corn rigs and barley.
Beautiful life. The simple, quiet life. I love it. Who's that over there? Hello, sir. Hello, mister. Oh, the sound of the seagulls.
Good day to you, sir. I'm the harbour master.
Sergeant Howie, West Highland Police.
A missing child is always trouble.
Howie. Okay. I'll try and remember names. So.
To explain matters to his lordship is most particular who lands here.
You know her. Her name is Rowan Morrison. The photo was in this letter.
I've never seen her before.
She doesn't belong to this island. No, I never saw her before.
Have they never seen her before?
The letter is anonymous and was addressed to me personally.
Oh, can you say I know her?
Now, what are you saying? You're saying that she is not from the island.
That's right, she's not from here.
Oh, do you know everybody on the island?
None of us has seen May Morrison's daughter Rowan since last year.
So she is from the island.
Her mother's name is May Morrison.
Oh, May! She quite slipped my memory. Of course we've got May.
Of course she did. Of course she slipped your mind.
That's not May's daughter, though.
Then who is she?
We don't know. But then why did May say that it was?
The sky was blue.
Without any pun being intended, there's something fishy going on. It's a fishing village, so... Well, at least I think it is, because it's a tiny little village and it looks beautiful. And it just looks like a fishing village, so... Also, I said about the whole Hot Fuzz thing. It's a cop coming to a small town. Very, Oh, look at that place. Oh, it's gorgeous. Thank you for requesting this. All the locals don't like strangers. And very weird cakes. They look horrific.
Good afternoon.
Like your rabbit.
Lovely match hairs.
What's the baby thing about?
Mrs. Morrison, Mrs. May Morrison. Sergeant Howie, West Highland Police.
I'm here about your daughter.
Did you come over in that aeroplane that I saw flying round?
Is that packets of snuff at the top? What's that?
Making inquiries about your daughter. We understand that she's missing.
Missing? My daughter?
You did send a letter.
You do have a daughter, and that's her.
Never. I tell you no.
Is this someone secretly trying to get him to come to the island by posing?
This is our Myrtle. She's not a bit like the girl in your photograph.
Look, Mummy, I'm drawing a hare.
Ah.
Yeah, hair, not a rabbit, sir. I only found out the differences between them, hares and rabbits, a little while ago. The size of the ears, apparently.
Here you are. You could fill the ears in grey. Oh,
thanks, I got paint all over my hand, yeah.
Myrtle, do you know Rowan?
Yeah.
Of course I do.
She does.
Of course I do, silly.
She's the missing girl you're after.
Do you know where she is now?
In the fields. She runs and plays there all day.
Do you think she'll be coming back for tea?
Hares don't have tea, silly.
Oh, it's a hare.
Hares?
She's a hare. Ron's a hare. She has a lovely time.
So she named the hare after the person, maybe?
It must be thirsty work asking all those questions, eh?
Or maybe the girl turned into a hare. That's such a weird little sign for the pub as well. It just looks horrifying.
Hello.
Evening.
You ain't from round here?
Are you the landlord here?
Aye, I'm Alden McGregor, and you must be the policeman from the mainland.
Yeah. Don't look suspicious much, do you?
Quite obviously not going to get back to the mainland tonight, so I wondered if you had a room.
Aye, I think that can be arranged.
Yes.
My daughter Willow will show you to your room. This is Sergeant Howie.
Oh, hi, Willow.
This is my daughter Willow.
Good evening.
Show the sergeant to his room.
When she's sent bawdy house queens by the score.
I love it. I love this kind of thing. The pub life. This is like Irish pub life as well.
Hearts of every gentleman do stand up at attention.
Love it.
As does the part.
They're very... I know it's small town life, so they are going to be like it, but they're very close. Everyone's very tight-knit. But like I said, that is small town life.
Why don't you have a wee drink?
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to pull him into their life. They think he's naive. Something's wrong.
I think you all ought to know that I am here to investigate the disappearance of a young girl, as doubtless the harbour master has already told you by now.
Word spreads quick.
Her name is Rowan Morrison.
No one's heard of her.
If any of you can give me any idea as to her whereabouts.
Why are there pictures of random women, same place every year?
I'm afraid nobody's seen her, Sergeant.
Was that where the picture of her used to be?
These Harvest Festival photographs.
Oh, it's Harvest Festival.
It happened to last year's.
It got broke.
Of course it did.
Willow, show the sergeant to the dining room.
It's disgusting.
It's not great. But...
What's the matter? Aren't you hungry?
Won't come out of a can. Broad beans in their natural state aren't usually turquoise, are they?
No.
Some things in their natural state have the most vivid colours.
Uh-huh.
Now, I wonder what you'll be wanting for afters.
I'll have an apple.
No apples.
She's like, a bit of me, perhaps.
On an island famous for its fruit and vegetables.
I expect they've all been exported. You can have peaches and cream if you like.
It's from a can, I suppose.
I mean, to be fair, what's he expecting?
Cheer up. Food isn't everything in life, you know.
It's not, no. But small town pub in the middle of Scotland. When I went to Cornwall into a small pub, same kind of town, they did make me fresh food. Still, what the... Wait, are they all doing it? I'm sorry, what? They're not fussed? I mean, I know it was all about free love back then, but... I know I said they were very close to each other. Why is there so many naked people? But what's going on outside?
Where? You'll find it at the top of the stair on your right.
Oh, he is not happy. Everyone's indecently exposed in the streets. Again, so was this an added scene in this version because it's different quality to the other stuff?
Willow McGregor.
Oh.
Willow McGregor.
I've come for your heart.
Present to you Ash Buchanan.
Come up, Ash Buchanan.
Another sacrifice for Aphrodite. You are the goddess of love in human form, and I am merely your humble acolyte.
No, the goddess of love was Freya, not Willow.
Only make sure you are ready. Tomorrow's tomorrow.
The day of death and rebirth.
Yes.
What?
And of a somewhat more serious offering.
Oh, that's thingy. I've just noticed as he was walking away. Couldn't see his face properly. Christopher Lee. It's very eerie, this place.
I put my hand aside and
Everyone is in this entranced dream state. Like, they're all on something.
I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. Not one of them is respectable.
It's beautifully written, though. Especially the bits from... like, the bits of what Christopher Lee said to the girl at the window, etc. I just realised they're all looking up to him upstairs. Or to them in the room. Like the ritual he said about. And the significance of the shot, the juxtaposition of the snail. That's so good. Oh, what? People are I thought people were screaming in fear and agony. They were cheering. It's lovely, that place. Look at that.
Isn't it glorious?
Aye, it's very nice.
I expect you'll be going home tonight.
Oh, no, I'm here to stay.
Well, that depends.
Unless you can find the girl.
Where's the school, please?
On the far side of the green.
Yeah, so this is the better quality. I think this is originally where that last scene was meant to be.
And on that tree there was a lid, and in that nest there was an egg.
I didn't expect songs to be in this.
And on that bed there was a girl, and on that girl there was a man.
Wait, what? Is this a normal song? This sounds like they're talking about the ritual thing they were doing last night.
And for that man there was a grave, a tree. From that man there was a sea.
Indoctrinate all the kids into this thing.
A tree.
Yes, Howie, it's peculiar. It's catchy though. What the hell is going on in this place?
Will you tell us what it is that the maypole represents?
It's weird because it's quaint and nice at the same time as it being slightly weird.
I know.
Right than anybody. The phallic symbol.
What?
The image of the penis, which is venerated in religions such as ours, as symbolizing the generative force in nature.
What?
Can I help you?
Could I have a word with you, please, miss?
Worshipping the pole being the phallic symbol? Why are they putting that in kids' heads at that young age?
Because you can be quite sure that I shall report this to the proper authorities.
Yeah.
I go on this island, it seems to me I find degeneracy.
Thank you.
And there is corruption of the young, and now I see it all stems from here.
Thank you.
I was unaware that the police had any authority in matters of education.
It's not education. I mean, it's sex education, I suppose, but it's...
Could I have your attention, please? Now, I am a police officer. Investigate the disappearance of a young girl. Pass around amongst yourselves.
Wait, he's getting rid of the thing. Wait, the snail thing that was there as well. The guy was talking about the snail thing last night, wasn't he? The Christopher Lee guy, character.
Now, do any of you recognize either the name or the photograph?
No. If she existed, we would know of her.
Unless she went by a different name.
Whose desk is that?
Or is the name an anagram for something? No, the desk is someone. Does she know? She seems the odd one out.
The little old beetle goes round and round. Always the same way, you see. It ends up right up tight to the nail. Poor old thing.
Poor old thing.
Creepy. It's...
And why in God's name do you do it, girl?
Yeah, you're torturing the insect.
I'd like to see the school register, please.
I'm afraid you'll have to have Lord Summerisle's authority.
This is a police matter.
I'm afraid you'll have to have a search warrant or permission from Lord Summerisle himself.
Is there no police in this area, though? Because I feel like he should have gone to the police station by now if there was, but... Maybe that's where they sent him, but... Is she there? Yes, she is. What? So she lied to him?
You're liars.
Yeah.
Rowan Morrison is a schoolmate of yours, isn't she? And that is her desk, isn't it?
Why the hell would they lie?
I think you ought to know.
And you are the biggest liar of all. I warn you, one more lie out of you, and I will charge you with obstruction. And believe me, Miss Rose, that is a promise.
So am I right? They're all in on it together. I wondered if maybe it was just a weird disappearance.
You don't understand, Sergeant. Nobody was lying. If Rowan Morrison existed, we would know of her.
So she was under a different name, maybe?
Come on. She's either dead or she's not dead.
Here, we do not use the word.
What, so she's moved on to a better life?
We believe that when the human life is over,
She turns into the animal?
the soul returns to trees, to air, to fire,
To the hair?
to water, to animals.
Wait, is that what they think?
Simply returned to the life forces in another form.
The hair?
You teach the children this stuff.
What a load of rubbish. They might believe that, but
It is what we believe.
that isn't right.
You never learn anything of Christianity.
Only as a comparative religion.
People potentially do move on to that, but still.
The children find it far easier to picture reincarnation than resurrection.
But she was quite young.
Those rotting bodies are a great stumbling block for the childish imagination.
Why, of course. And may I ask,
He doesn't believe a word.
the body of Rowan Morrison?
Why, where you'd expect it to be.
The graveyard?
You mean in the churchyard?
In a manner of speaking.
No, in plain speaking.
Yeah.
The building attached to the ground in which the body lies is no longer used for Christian worship, so whether it is still a churchyard is debatable.
Just give us it in English, please, like he said, and you said.
Protected by the ejaculation of serpents.
What? I did not see that as ejaculation. It looked like encathlon. Oh, that was the old church. In the same... What? Just a random woman in the... Wait, apples! Why the hell was he told there was no apples? But there are apples. Cross for the grave. Because it was like a desecration of the church to him. Which it was. They've just treated it awfully.
Morning.
Morning.
I see you plant trees on most of the graves here.
Aye, that's right.
What tree is that?
That's a Rowan.
Who lies there?
Rowan Morrison.
Rowan. Yes, that's what I was just thinking when he said Rowan.
How long has she been dead?
6 or 7 months. They're just a wee bit late with the headstone.
Why has he only been told about it now, though? I know word travels slow by post, but still.
What on earth's that? Looks like a piece of skin.
Why, so it is. The poor wee lassie's navel string. Where else should it be but hung on her own little tree?
Sorry, her what?
Where does your minister live?
Minister?
What did he say that was, though? Her what? Skin? He said nail skin at first.
What do we call this first? It's just a little frog.
Tiny little froggy.
It'll do that poor sore throat good. Now anyone would think you didn't want to get better.
So she completely lied
In
about
he
the...
goes.
What the hell?
And out he comes. There.
Tasted horrid.
Never mind.
Why? I know they say that there's... Is it aphrodisiac on the frog's skin? If you suck on a frog or something?
Can I do anything for you, Sergeant?
Oh, I doubt it. Seeing it all raving mad.
I'm confused. It's so weird, but I love it.
Hey,
Hello there.
I'd like you to see your index of death, please.
Do you have authority?
Yes, I'm a policeman, as you can see.
No, I'm in from his lordship.
I don't need it.
He goes over the top of the lordship.
I'm afraid you have to get permission from Lord Summerisle.
If you don't cooperate with me here and now, you may well find yourself inside a police cell on the mainland tonight.
Yeah, so I take it there is no police station. Back then they might not have had it had a police station in every place. She's got...
Benjamin and Rachel Morrison.
So where's Benjamin?
Names from the Bible.
Yes, they were very old.
There's no record of Rowan Morrison's death, which means, of course, that there is no death certificate. Did you know her?
Yes, of course.
Is that her?
Yes, that's her.
Wait, she's the only one that said...
How did she die?
Oh, yes, that's her.
I don't
Blah, blah,
know.
blah.
I don't know anything about her.
But how do you know her, though? You must know something about her if you know her.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I'm firstly a chemist, secondly a photographer.
Oh, that shop is disgusting.
The Harvest Festival photographs every year. The ones I saw in the Green Man.
It's rather humdrum work, I'm afraid.
Do you know what happened to last year's photograph?
Isn't it there with the others?
No, it's gone.
It's been broken or damaged in some way.
Oh, what a pity.
What a pity.
No, I don't keep copies.
Hello.
You were among the people to whom I showed the photograph.
Yeah, and you said...
Is that the girl?
That it's not the girl.
It's difficult to say.
Oh, come on, man.
Well, you said you didn't know.
8 months ago, surely you remember if it was that girl or not.
It's like, how do you know it was only 8 months? This is so interesting. I love this film. Some of it's just blowing my mind. Amongst the blossoms. What? Some kind of sacrificial ritual? What? Spiritual awakening and...
Take the flame inside you.
I have heard this song before.
Take the flame inside you.
It's funny because a second ago, I think they're meant to be naked, but I'm sure one of the shots a second ago, they looked like they were wearing leotards or something. Beautiful house.
His lordship is expecting you, sir.
Expecting me?
Or mansion, I should say.
In there, sir.
That place is bloody gorgeous. He's in that chair there, I think. Nice piano. Can you see those... Yeah, see those strange people dancing. I'm trying to think...
Good afternoon, Sergeant Howie.
Oh, it's Christopher Lee's character.
I trust the sight of the young people refreshes you.
No, sir. It does not refresh me.
One should always be open to the regenerative influences. I understand you're looking for a missing girl.
I found her.
Splendid.
In her grave. I need your permission to exhume her body, have it transported to the mainland for a pathologist's report.
You suspect foul play?
I suspect murder and conspiracy.
Murder.
In that case, you must go ahead.
Your lordship seems strangely unconcerned.
Yeah.
Confident your suspicions are wrong, Sergeant. We don't commit murder up here. We're a deeply religious people.
Are you sure about that?
Religious?
Yeah, religious, but you took the church down.
With ruined churches.
Yes, exactly.
No ministers, no priests, and children dancing naked.
Just let it fall away into the pit of nothing. That tune again, what is going on?
They do love their divinity lesson.
But they are naked.
Naturally, it's much too dangerous to jump through the fire with your clothes on.
Okay, he's got a very good point.
What religion can they possibly be learning?
Prancing naked.
Parthenogenesis.
What?
What?
Reproduction without sexual union.
I'm sorry, what?
What is all this?
But they're kids.
You've got fake biology, fake religion.
Is this some kind of...
Sir, have these children never heard of Jesus?
Is this some kind of cult?
Himself the son of a virgin, impregnated, I believe, by a ghost.
What?
Sharks are so much better absorbed with the knees bent. They're jumping through the flames in the hope that the god of fire will make them fruitful. Really, you can hardly blame them. After all, what girl would not prefer the child of a god to that of some acne-scarred artisan?
Yeah, but they're children.
And you encourage them in this?
Actively. It's most important that each new generation born on Summerisle be made aware that here the old gods aren't dead.
And what of the true god?
Yeah.
Whose glory, churches and monasteries have been built on these islands for generations past.
Yeah.
Now, sir, what of him?
He's dead. Can't complain. He had his chance, and in modern parlance.
No, but the church should still be there, though. And they should still be...
What? In the last century, the islanders were starved. 1868, my grandfather bought this island, began to change things. A distinguished Victorian scientist, agronomist, freethinker.
Cultist?
What attracted my grandfather to the island was the unique combination of volcanic soil and the warm Gulf Stream that surrounded it.
Very nice.
Possible to induce here the successful growth of certain new strains of fruit that he had developed.
But yet you have no fruit and vegetables on the island, apparently.
Was to rouse the people from their apathy by giving them back their gods.
Gorgeous garden.
To develop new cultivars of hardy fruit.
To begin with, they worked for him because he fed them and clothed them. But then later, when the trees started fruiting, it became a very different matter.
Wait, he fed them and clothed them?
And the ministers fled the island.
But did he mean the ministers? I thought he meant the trees. Sorry, did I get the wrong thing?
He brought me out the same way, to reverence the music and the drama and the rituals of the old gods. Love nature and to fear it, and to rely on it, and to appease it where necessary. He brought me up.
He brought you up to be a pagan.
A heathen, conceivably, but not, I hope, an unenlightened.
I am interested in one thing, the law.
Yeah.
But I must remind you, sir,
For people to not to be running around the streets naked.
that despite everything you've said, you are the subject of a Christian country. If I may have your permission to exhume the body of Rowan Morrison.
She deserves that respect anyway.
I was under the impression I'd already given it to you.
Oh wait, were you the person that wrote to him, maybe? You never specifically gave permission. I'm trying to take all of the weirdness in and trying to understand. I don't want to miss anything. I'm trying to understand it. I understand the majority of it, but... So that's her. That's Rowan. Why the hell are you laughing? What? Well, they did say that Rowan was a hare. That's horrific, though, that they've desecrated her grave by just having the hair in there instead. And they're all happy-dappy, like... Yeah. Oh, he just...
I found that in Rowan Morrison's grave.
He is not messing around, is he? Yep, that's Rowan.
Little Rowan loved the Marchers.
But where is Rowan? The body?
A sacrilege.
Only if
Yeah.
the ground is consecrated to the Christian belief. Personally, I think it makes a very lovely transmutation. I'm sure Rowan is most happy with it.
I hope you don't think that I can be made a fool of.
I can kind of see what they're on about, though, with this whole thing.
Where is Rowan Morrison?
This is what some people believe, but the body should still be...
She is. What remains of her physically?
Lord Summerisle,
The body,
where is Rowan Morrison?
even her original body state. Where is it?
You are supposed to be the detective here.
You have always been the detective here. Sorry, it was getting very shining.
But you are the caretaker. You've always been the caretaker.
She's nervous.
At first I'm told there is no such child. There is, in fact, but she has been killed. That there is no death certificate. And now...
People are telling me she's a hare.
There's no body.
Very perplexing for you.
Maybe she's not dead. There's no body.
I think Rowan Morrison was murdered
By all of you.
under circumstances of pagan barbarity.
So is that the whole thing is paganism? Okay. I know we said pagan earlier, but...
Tomorrow to return to the mainland and report my suspicions, and I will demand a full inquiry.
Good. It's not right that they've just
You must, of course, do as you see fit, Sergeant.
taken her and just thrown her away.
It's just as well that you won't be here tomorrow to be offended by the sight of our May Day celebrations here.
No.
Broom, would you come?
Stay. Stay. Cause havoc, please.
Fair mate, says he, your kettle's cracked.
It's so, like, lovely, quaint on the outside, but they're so dark within.
Mine own could not take hold.
That was cool. The weird instrument playing. Breaking into the post office? Yeah, it is post office, yeah. You don't have a warrant to do that, sir? Living grave. They didn't exactly bury her alive because she's not in there. The only thing I could think is they've chucked her in the water or they've
That's hardly any produce.
burned her. That's maybe they've burned her or something.
That's
But
it, the crop's failed.
that's the picture that was in the frame originally.
And it's Rowan.
Yeah.
Rowan and the crop's failed.
Sacrifice.
The picture is taken in the old church, the bit where he put the cross down.
Here to be offended by the sight of our May Day celebrations tomorrow.
And because the crop failed on her one, that's why they killed her off thinking it was her. Maybe? I think that's what he was kind of saying a second ago. Yeah.
Took bread and said, take, eat.
Wait, he said that...
This is my body,
Yeah.
which is broken for you.
Yeah, that's confusing. The bit at the beginning of the film is this scene.
And after the same manner, he also took the cup.
So they put it there just to tell us, well, he's a religious man. This does it anyway. You didn't need to say that.
You do show the Lord's death till he comes again.
Yeah, and then this is the same scene that they added in from earlier.
Sergeant.
Oh, I like that. The matching of the imagery with... Okay, didn't expect it to be naked. So she's enticing him. Is that what this is meant to be? She's enticing him like a siren. That's why she went, Sergeant, through the door. You gotta admit, despite being really weird, it's beautifully done, this film. putting across the point of their society. Don't fall for it, lad. Don't fall for it. Keep it in your trousers. Go to bed. Go to sleep. No. He's like, I can't. I'm being drawn. Being pulled in by the siren. I think there is a name, because siren is for like the water and that, I think, as well. Well done. Okay. Strangely mesmerizing, that the whole artistic movement and dance, and he's like, I can't escape her. Don't even entice her in it, because you'll then get sucked into this world. I think that was a body double then. I just realised it didn't look like her from the face. As she whipped her head, you could see her face. Didn't they say? Yeah, they said the whole thing about they replaced the sexual urge with, they do all of this other stuff and it kind of does the same thing as intercourse, didn't they? Earlier. Something similar to that. That's what the guy was saying in the mansion about the dances, and yeah, he was getting pulled into that, having a good old time with the
Wake up, Sergeant.
with her in a right old daze. Had a good time last night?
I thought you were going to come and see me last night.
No, you were enticing him to do it.
I invited you.
Engaged to be married.
Does that stop you?
It would be very difficult to turn her down. Not gonna lie.
It's nothing personal, just that I don't believe in it. Full marriage.
Suit yourself.
Yeah, because he's very religious.
You wouldn't want to be around here on May Day. Not the way you feel.
He needs to get out there. He needs to start seeing what they're doing and try and stop all this weirdness from happening.
Carry death out of the village.
May Day festivals.
They say we carry death out of the village.
The purpose of his spring ceremonies was to ensure a plentiful autumn. In Great Britain, for example, one can still see harmless versions of them danced in obscure villages on May Day. Many alarming characters. Cantors at the head of the procession, charging at the girls. Man, woman, the man, fool, punch. Most complex of all the symbolic figures. 6 swordsmen follow these figures, lock their swords together in a clear symbol of the sun. In pagan time, these dances were not simply a picturesque jig ending in a sacrifice win over the goddess of the fields.
That's what the people were, sacrifices.
But in bad years, when the harvest had been poor, the sacrifice was a human being.
Yeah. Oh, it's weird that she looked at me exactly the same time. Yeah.
Dead.
Rowan.
Sometimes the victim would be drowned in the sea or burnt to death in a huge sacrificial bonfire.
I said burnt or drowned in or put to the sea.
Dear God in heaven, even these people can't be that mad.
Still warm skin like a mantle.
Oh God, please don't tell me they actually do that part as well. I didn't know they did all this. And I didn't realise this was what paganism was. Or what this was the ritual thing that they were doing anyway.
Good morning, Sergeant.
He's just got cows in the yard. Love it.
On May Day, I better take you out myself.
Why? There's no pilot today for the plane. The watchful eye. They will not allow that. What the hell? Well, they'd said about in the book thing, it said something about the animal. Was it animal masks? He's going to look over and... Wait, they've cut the engine.
Have a good flight, then.
No, it's stopped working. Oh God, be careful, be careful, be careful. That's so creepy, though.
Hey, you come back here!
I think you're gonna have to swim.
I said come back here!
Nope, they're leaving. Oh no, he's coming back from Mecca. I thought he was just gonna leave him there. Because he'd be less trouble that way.
What's the matter? Won't she go? No. If any of the children had been interfering with it...
It would take a lot of effort as well. They have to set the boat over there.
I am not obstructing you, Sergeant.
It is obstruction.
Get old Sam there to row you to the mainland. You'll be back in a week.
Well,
they are doing this on purpose.
I'll just have to find Rowan Morrison myself.
Oh, yeah. The part of the thing was with the horse's head, wasn't it? Oh, it's just a guy. He's just trying to find the festival. Just teasing him. Driving him insane. Yeah, catch him at the next corner. Yeah. Or not. What is that? Yeah, the mask thing is so creepy. This thing, I love this kind of horror where it's that psychological, eerie horror, like The Shining and
Mr. McGregor, I trust you
weirdness.
have to let out your costume again.
It does seem to shrink a little each year.
It's all those beers and pies.
My friends, we shall all reassemble outside the town.
You know what I said about the whole Hot Fuzz thing? There's a weird thing going on in the village as well, isn't there? Some weird cult thing going on. The greater good.
A holy sacrifice will be offered up, Nuada, our most sacred god of the sun, and to Avalanau, beloved goddess of our orchards. Furnish them with renewed power to quicken the growth of our crops.
Right, so they're doing it. They do it for the crops. Yeah, these baby things are very weird, the cakes.
I thought you had gone back.
I had, but I'm back.
I don't know if you know it or not, but Rowan is not dead. They've got her hidden somewhere.
They?
Now, if you know where she is, I beg you to tell me now before it's too late.
The hell Hot Fuzz thing, by the way, maybe that's where they got the idea from.
In the name of God, woman, what kind of mother are you?
I would go back to the mainland.
Although I think she's in on it.
In things that are no concern of yours.
I am going to search every house, and if anybody, including you, stands in my way, they'll be arrested as accomplices to murder.
You simply never understand the true nature of sacrifice.
Yeah, she is in on it. With the whole sacrifice thing.
Bloody heathens!
Yeah. Sounds like some relatives of mine. Bloody heathens.
No! Take them off!
They're creepy as hell.
What do you think you're doing?
Searching every house for a missing child.
Nowadays it'd be like, have you got a warrant for that? Oh, a hidden room. To a weird cellar. No, go down there. Go down there. They've even got the dolls doing it. What? This whole place is just obsessed with depravity. Apologies for my very bad Scottish accent, by the way. Another doll. Yeah. Okay. She's like, oh, hello, officer. He's lost for words. Sorry, what? Oh my god. Oh, what? Oh, Jesus, that's creepy. Someone else that died. Why is... Wait, they've got a pirate ship with all the fruit on it. Or at least some of the fruit. I love the ship, though.
What's that?
Life of the Fields.
I'm sorry.
John Barleycorn. What's in here?
In a bloody casket thing?
What's that?
That's my costume.
I like how we've become him now. Oh no. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, it was... The thing in the oven was just a casket thing, but with a baking version. Is someone in there? Oh, okay. Wait, is that the lady from earlier? The lady from the library? Looks a bit like her.
You're back early.
If so, were they telling her off because they showed him the books of what their history was?
Just give me a glass of whiskey.
Did you find the girl?
He's coming to the end of his tether with all of you.
I'm going to rest in my bed for half an hour. I do not wish to be disturbed.
Oh, by the way, I don't understand that. These small places and that they ask for the key back when you leave the place. I think so they can go in and dude, lock your door. What are you doing? Why have you left the door undone?
He's asleep.
Oh, wait, has he done it on purpose?
I don't like to use it on him, really.
The lad said we're to take no chances, didn't he?
I know, but with a hand of glory, there's no telling when you wake.
Sorry, what?
He might sleep for days.
All the better. We don't want him butting in. Go on, light it up.
What are they lighting up? Well, they're not setting a fire, I don't think, but what are they?
That'll make you sleep, my pretty sergeant.
Yeah, I wondered if it was maybe incense or something that was like a sleeping drug.
We can't do without punch. They've given you girls 5 minutes start, haven't they?
Oh, they being Punch and Judy. He said about the punch thing. Was it a fire? What the hell? That's the woman's hand from the thing in the... Is that the whole... They cut off the hand to spite her? Oh, yes! So wait, is he going to dress up in the Punch outfit? Oh, you genius, you. To hide in plain sight. Oh, you genius. Oh, I hope nobody finds him. So we can go in and no one's suspecting. I'd have done similar, to be fair. Although if he doesn't know the ritual properly... this sort of thing. Is that Christopher Lee at the front in the wig? Yeah. Oh, these kind of things are so strange with the masks.
What's the matter with you, McGregor? Do you call that dancing?
Let's see, that's what I mean. You won't know it.
Play the fool, that's what you're here for.
It is Christopher Lee. Love it.
You're getting drunk at your own bar.
Yeah, the stuff that they were showing earlier was weird. But so the hand is from the lady in the casket that we saw, who I believe is the lady from the library. Although they did say it was to let him sleep, so... Is this part of their ritual? Unless they know it's him. They're just having fun. And teasing him. This is so weird. They're trying to capture them, I think. That's what it seemed like. Capture the fair maidens. It actually looks like fun. Apart from the weirdness, it looks quite fun. Not this sort of thing. That's creepy. That's like Stonehenge. Oh god, imagine if they have to take the masks off. This is fascinating to know. Like, if this is really how it happens. I know that's how they do their sword thing. Oh, that's creepy. Yeah. Were they meant to catch someone? Yeah. She looked worried when she put her head in, so maybe this is meant to select someone.
Everyone must go through, McGregor.
Oh no! Is he going to get selected? Oh god. Oh, I thought they were. Uh-oh. Oh my god! Oh god, I hope there was no one in that. Oh no, I think there was, because there's feet to it as well. Oh god, I hope there's...
Holly!
Oh jeez. Freaking hell. What the hell? So weird. It's when they go, oh, you can take your masks off now. Lovely beach.
Oh, God of the sea, I offer you this ale.
I was about to say, let's all have ale.
The rich and diverse fruits of your kingdom.
He didn't get into it very well. But... Ah, pollution. Lovely. Wait, what? I didn't know it made waves frothy. Obviously, it's the ale. Ominous. It's Rowan. So she's not dead after all. He was right.
What's the matter, Mr. McGregor?
Yes! Because it's not Mr. McGregor. Come on, please.
I can hear. They're coming.
Oh, good man. I didn't think he was going to be able to save her, because I didn't think she was alive. The 70s music, I love it. Chase music. As if she's dived in there. Oh, no, okay, they didn't see it.
That's the way out. Up there.
Oh my god, you could have gone some other way. I mean, you're going to kill her off by going these very odd ways. Oh my god. Oh, that looks dangerous.
I seem to have lost our torch-bearing friends.
The sound of the sea. Be careful, you're right near the sea. Oh, no. No. Don't go to her. He's going to push you off the bloody cliff.
Did I do it right?
You did it beautifully.
Wait, what? Wait, is this part of it? Oh, because they're acting out, so they're not really going to do it. Okay.
Come on now.
Well, where the heck have they been keeping her? And why did they say, oh, she's dead? Oh. I was going to say, unless they're going to take him as a hostage instead. Sacrifice to put... No, they'll push you over the edge. That looks exactly like somewhere I've been.
You have come of your...
With the jaggedy rocks and everything. In Cornwall.
The game's over. Game? What game?
Are they all playing a game?
The game of the hunted leading the hunter. You came here to find Rowan Morrison.
But they trying to find you, yeah.
And controlled your every thought and action since you arrived.
Oh my god.
We persuaded you to think that Rowan Morrison was being held as a sacrifice.
So that you stayed and got closer, yeah.
Crops failed.
I saw the harvest photograph.
They failed, all right. The blossom came. The fruit withered and died on the bough.
Get away from the edge.
The best way of preventing this is to offer to our God of the sun the most acceptable sacrifice.
What, so they've chosen him?
Not nearly as effective as the right kind of adult.
Someone who believes in the good and the righteous, or someone who's Christian?
Kind of adult.
Religion.
You, Sergeant, are the right kind of adult.
A man who would come here of his own free will, with the power of a king, by representing the law.
Yeah, because he's pure, basically.
Get out of my way.
Oh, and isn't Punch the Fool as well? But Punch and Judy isn't Punch the Fool, and he's dressed as the Fool now. Oh God, I hope he makes it and is allowed to leave. They've made a fool of him. No.
You are the fool, Mr. Harry. Punch.
Yeah, but they have made you a fool. Yes, yeah, the Punch thing.
Fool victims of history.
Oh, yeah. I thought Punch was known as the Fool. I couldn't remember.
For you have accepted the role of king for a day, and who but a fool would do that? But you will be revered and anointed as a king.
No, he won't be. You're just gonna kill him.
You will undergo death.
No, put the knife away, please.
The rebirth, sadly, will not be yours, but that of our crops.
I am a Christian.
Yeah, and a police officer. You can't kill...
As a Christian, I hope for resurrection.
Yes.
And even if you kill me now, it is I who will live again.
The full force of the law will come down on them if they
Not
do
you
that.
damned apples.
No. No, have they actually... Oh, they just cut the suit. Right, okay. It's like they're preparing their bloody last meal. So weird. This makes me so weirdly uncomfortable. Why did they put the paint on him? It's part of the ritual, obviously, but... By the way, I'm calling it a ritual. Apologies if that's not the name for it, but...
No matter what you do, you can't change the fact that I believe in the life eternal as promised to us by our Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh, bless him, right up to the last minute, he's
eternal
still trying to tell them.
as promised to us by our Lord Jesus Christ.
I mean, I know he believes it.
That is good, for believing what you do.
Yeah.
We confer upon you a rare gift these days.
To be able to...
A martyr's death. You will not only have life eternal, but you will sit with the saints among the elect.
I know he believes in all that, but...
Keep your appointment with the Wicker Man.
This isn't how you should go.
Now wait!
Wait, that... Also, what's the Wicker Man?
Now all of you just wait!
I know the film is it, but...
And you can wrap it up any way you like!
I should have said, you said the thing.
You are about to commit murder.
Yeah, murder on a police officer.
There is no sun god! There is no goddess of the fields!
There's only God. In Christianity.
Your crops failed because your strains failed!
Yeah. And because you didn't properly look after them.
Well, don't you see that killing me is not going to bring back your apples? Summerisle, you know it won't. Well, go on, man, tell them it won't!
It's to no avail. They will do it still. They'll do all this. It's part of their way.
Next year you're going to have another blood sacrifice!
Yep. Every year.
No one less than the King of Summerisle himself will do!
Every year.
Next year your people will kill you!
They will not fail!
No, but they might. I just realised the sound we're hearing is them humming.
They'll come looking for me!
There will be no traces!
People know that he's gone there. What do you mean there's going to be no traces?
Think what you're doing! Think! In the name of God, think what you're doing!
But did they chuck him over? Oh, okay. They were saying something about the Wicker Man, but I didn't know if throwing him over was called the Wicker Man or something.
Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ!
Well, he blasphemed. What the hell is that thing? The Wicker Man.
Christ!
Oh shoot! They're going to put him in it and then set it alight.
No, Christ!
It's probably one of the most slow and painful deaths that you could have. Just being burned alive. And killing animals as well. What the hell? Oh, because it's in that... Wasn't that what he said? There's the sacrifice of a human and... I'm sure he said there was also sacrifices of animals along with the fruit and veg as well. I feel like I know nothing going into this film. Like, I I didn't know what the Wicker Man was. I thought that was the name that was given to him or something.
Mighty God of the sun, bountiful goddess of our orchards, accept...
Oh, God bless him.
Mighty God of the sun.
He's just gone there to die, basically.
Hear ye the words of the Lord!
Oh.
Awake, ye heathens! It is the Lord who hath laid waste your orchards! It is he who
Reverence
hath
the
made them bare.
sacrifice.
He's trying his best.
Is withered away from the sons of men. Desire shall fail, and ye shall all die accursed.
It's no good though, because they're not gonna. It is you, sir. I mean, it is a beautiful place for his resting place. Jesus. What a way to go. So eerie that they're so jolly and happy. Oh God, he's actually in there at the same time. Like I didn't think you would see the fire with him in there as well. How on earth did they do that? As in the filming stages. In fact, he's clinging on to the religion right at the last second as well, hoping for God to save him, or just to at least. Arses.
Oh God, I humbly entreat thee for the soul of this thy servant Neil Howie, who will today depart from this world. Do not deliver me into the enemy's hands, or put me out of mind forever. Let me not undergo the real pains of hell, dear God, because I die.
So cruel, though, and so unneeded as well. Because it is just that their crops went bad. It's no human's fault. Bloody stupid, the whole sacrificing thing.
Oh, Lord!
Well, they're not wrong about this being a horror. It is horrifying. Jesus. Well, that was a good shot, though. The timing of that going down with then the sun in the background. Wonderfully done. But awful for Howie, though. Wow. That was amazing. And entirely on location in Scotland as well. Horrific. It's like a very strange piece of art in Monty Python or something. I'm a little lost for words. That was a lot more incredibly weird, a lot more intense, and a lot more horrific than I thought it was going to be. I kind of knew that something weird was going on with the first bit of the film, but I didn't expect that, and I thought they were all in on it together, but I didn't nowhere near think that. It's funny that there were so many bits in that, and I said it a few times, but there were so many bits in that reminded me of Hot Fuzz, which I know that's more modern than this. There's nothing like this, but I feel like Hot Fuzz, Edgar Wright and that got a lot of inspiration from this, and if they didn't, there's so many elements in there, like the cop going to the small town and something weird's going on with this sort of cult type thing going on, things not being as they seem. And anyway, absolutely loved this film. It's so funny because for years I have not known anything about this film. I've not known the first thing. I didn't know what the Wicker Man was, because I thought that the Wicker Man was just the name of the main character or something, as in that was what they called him. Like, oh, that's the Wicker Man. Because I knew there was a guy as the main character in this. Didn't look up who it was beforehand. I didn't realise it was Edward Woodward, which is just funny. The whole Hot Fuzz thing. He plays a character Edward Woodward plays in Hot Fuzz.
Well, I see we have visitors.
Which could be the reason why they got him in it, to sort of pay tribute the Wicker Man thing. There's also a weird, creepy element about that film as well. Sorry, I keep going back to that film. The eeriness surrounding, like the girl being missing, no one agrees on. Like, we don't know who she is. So weird, so creepy. Then you had other weird bits in there, like the girl having the frog in her mouth. But I did realise when we saw the photo again of Rowan, that the place that the photographs are taken is in that ruin of a church, and where he threw off the fruit in the crates or in the boxes or whatever they are. Now, when he threw those off, that area there was where the harvest photos were taken in the previous years. It also goes to show that that church has been in ruin for ages. We'll go into the trivia in a second, by the way, but I just want to just try and get some words out about this film. So good. From the immediate moment he got to the island, the people were acting a bit weird and they were just staring at him. And yeah, even then the people in the neighbouring houses were staring and not knowing who this stranger is that's coming into their village, trying to search for a little girl who's gone missing. Then you had the pub, which was equally as strange, and I thought it was odd the way they were all being so... And I know that small towns are quite pally-pally with each other and they know each other's business, but there just seemed to be something very odd. I really enjoyed, when they were singing the song sort of midway through the film and they're staring up at... She's, I think, with the guy in her room and she's doing stuff, and he's in the next room. I believe the people downstairs singing along, which... Again, like I said, I think that scene was added in. We'll look into it in a bit. But I think that scene was added in, one, because the quality was different, and two, we see it again later in better quality midway through the film. So I believe they, in this final cut, they added in that scene early context maybe as to what they're doing, and then we see it repeated again but shorter later. But the one thing I don't agree with, I feel could be done without, is that opening scene with him in the church, because at that point he's already on the island. I suppose they were trying to make it and show us he's religious. I don't think I've watched anything of that nature before. I'd love to watch more of like that. I've got some wonderful films on the list, and thank you, by the way, for requesting this film. Honestly, thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm so lost for words as to what to say to it. That film slightly changes my mind, slightly, because I still love it anyway, but slightly changes my mind on the small town fishing village. In fact, it's where I do a lot of my photography, is in places like that. So, because it's so quaint and beautiful, until you get some weird cult place that dance around fires and stuff. Threw me a little bit at the end when I was getting emotional. I was going, but why? It was so sad, so horrifically sad. I suppose the film kind of lets you warm to the character, and then that happening to him at the end, it's no way for anybody to go. And you just feel so much empathy for him being in that situation and not being able to escape. And he's an innocent man, and they're not giving a care to the world and thinking they're so out of their mind. They're thinking that this is going to help their crops, this is going to help them in some way, but it's not going to. Honestly, I don't know why I expected from that film, and I genuinely didn't expect half of what was in there. I thought there was going to be something weird, like at the start of the film. I thought there was going to be something really strange with the village and that. Never in a million years did I expect it to be what it actually was, or go the way it did, or have random scenes of people naked and doing it and dancing naked and stuff. I never expected any of that. Anyway, let's check out the trivia. Right, so apparently the Evil Eye rowing boat that takes Howie, Sergeant Howie, to and from the plane was not constructed for the movie. It belongs to a resident of Plockton, which is potentially the name of the place that this is filmed, I presume. Upon seeing it, the producers decided it would suit the movie. The boat survived until 2004, when it was destroyed in a storm. Wow, many years later, after making the film, Edward Woodward revisited some of the locations and claims that he found the makeshift cross still intact where it was left in the original scene.
I can't believe this. This is a time warp.
If he did, that's so strange that it wasn't moved since the 70s, since 1973. It says there that it was many years later, but it doesn't say how many years later, but still, after a few years, someone must have picked it up. I suppose it was in an old ruin right at the back, but if someone had seen the film, I suppose they probably wouldn't assume that it was still there if he was telling the truth. But I can't see why Edward Woodward wouldn't say, that's such a mouthful to say, Edward Woodward wouldn't. Why he would lie. He wouldn't lie. Couldn't see why he wouldn't tell the truth for that. But that's fascinating. If he did find it, that's cool. Wow. So Christopher Lee says that he considers this to be one of his greatest roles ever.
I think the best film, were lots of cuts of everybody, about 20-25 minutes, was The Wicker Man.
Someone was saying, apparently Christopher Lee did this for nothing. Maybe he thought it was one of his best ever roles though, because he was just in it for the love of doing it. Director Robin Hardy explained the meaning of the scene with the woman with an egg in her hand. Yes, I did wonder was the egg meant to symbolise fertility, maybe? And that's kind of symbolised with the baby in her hand anyway. Oh, there you go. Yeah, according to Hardy, it is a fertility ritual and she was hoping for another baby. There you go. Kind of strange how I predicted. I know it was there in front of me, but I hadn't seen that bit. Yeah, he explains that to Alan Cumming in Scotland on Screen from 2009.
It's a fertility ritual so that you'll have another baby.
What, holding the egg?
Yes, well, feeding the child in the church.
So Christopher Lee paid his own press tour out of his own pocket. What? And he hit every stop in the USA. He must have really loved this film and really wanted it to do well and push it out there as much as possible. But yeah, he hit every stop in the USA willing to interview him about the movie. According to a rumour, some farmers in Iowa were surprised to see him on live early morning public access shows. Filmed in 1972 in Galloway, Scotland, and there was some controversy when Britt Ekland labelled it as the bleakest place on earth. That's not great for one of the stars in the film, is it? Eek. I wouldn't say it's bleak. It can be bleak depending on how you look at it, but it's more quiet and more oldie-worldy. That's the way things were, especially many, many years ago. And that's the way things still are now. You can see that if you go to any small town village or go to like a fishing village or something. Honestly, if you've never been, and if you're in the UK or if you're going to the UK, and if you're going to go anywhere near Cornwall, go and find a little village like Port Isaac, one of my favourites, or Polperro, another huge favourite of mine. Both very similar to, well, just fishing villages in general. There's plenty. There's like Wells next to the sea, and you've got places in Ireland. Yeah, apparently with the whole Britt Ekland saying the bleakest place on earth, the producers were forced to apologise to the locals. But it's not their fault. If Britt's going to say it, then she's going to say it. Oh, that's interesting. According to director Robin Hardy, while this movie was largely filmed in Scotland, now bear in mind, right at the end of the film, there's a title that says something like locations shot solely in Scotland. It says here that while the film was largely located and filmed in Scotland, the aerial shots from the plane arriving were filmed in South Africa. What? Because they didn't have the budget to glue blossom to that many trees. Yeah, the thing that struck me was they were saying, oh yeah, there's no fruit, there's no apples available on the island, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes to the ruined church and, oh, there's apples. They're probably out of date a bit now, but maybe they were old apples. Oh, there was a couple of names in there that I did pick up on, but most of the Summerisle residents are named after trees, flowers, and plants. Oh my God, it is rumoured that the original negative of the full-length version of this was used as landfill in the construction of the M3 motorway in England. I feel like that's blasphemic in itself. A film about paganism and being like one with the earth and, you know, being very relaxed with nature, and yet they use it as landfill for a motorway. Tons of cars are going to be flowing up and down. Jesus. So Christopher Lee said that this was apparently done on purpose because of Michael Deely's dislike of this movie. Right, okay, here we go. So the studio battle. The Wicker Man was funded by a small studio called British Lion under the oversight of Peter Snell. The company was in dire financial straits and Snell needed a hit to save it. But before the film was finished, British Lion was bought out by shareholder Michael Deely, it's making sense now, and fellow businessman Barry Spikings, and Deely hated the film. Partly out of that hatred and partly to paint Snell as a failure, but he made a really good film. Who needed to be shoved out, Deely set out to bury the film. Why did they hate it so much? I mean, it's a weird and creepy film, but I think it's really good. It's the thing also, I wouldn't class it really as horror, even though it's called a horror. I would have said it's more, I suppose, psychological horror, maybe. You know, that sort of slow burning creepiness. Yeah, so back to the Michael Deely thing. He sent out a print of the film to famed producer and schlockmeister Roger Corman, who suggested cutting the film down so that it could play as a B movie in a double feature. What the heck? Thus, an 87-minute version of the film was cut and released. Right, okay. So that's where that version came about. Director Robin Hardy and Christopher Lee did their damnedest to promote it in the United States. That must have been the reason why he pushed it as much as he possibly did. Yeah, paying their own way for a cross-country tour where they would show the film and answer questions afterward. Wow, that's so good of them.
Good evening, and welcome to Critics' Choice.
Welcome, Robin. Christopher, I think.
I can understand that people wouldn't like it, especially like religious things. People wouldn't like it for that sort of thing. But it's not like it's one of the video nasties, for Pete's sake. It's just, it's not even that strong of a horror. It worked. The Wicker Man began to grow a small but dedicated cult. Funnily enough, I said about the whole cult thing with this. Followed in the US, fueled by word of mouth and good reviews. Oh, this might be about the whole Final Cut thing about piecing stuff together. Here we go. In 1976, The Wicker Man had enough of a following that Hardy approached British Lion in hopes of making a director's cut, but he was told they would be impossible. So how did we get the director's cut then? I don't know, maybe it'll go into details. Why? Because when Dealey stepped into power at the studio, he'd allegedly ordered whole swathes of old film stock to be destroyed. That in itself is a freaking crime and horrific in itself. Destroying old films just because. Oh wait, so all of those films were to become part of the M3 motorway. It says here, not just destroyed, the film was supposedly chucked into a hole under the M3 motorway, whilst likely just a cruel comment from a petty source. That urban legend persists to this day. Oh, so is it only urban legend? But in a strange twist of fate, the same man who suggested cutting the film down was the one to save the day. This is getting very weird. Roger Corman had kept the long cut of the film that was sent to him for review all those years ago. Oh, you genius, you. From this version, Hardy was able to reconstruct a 95-minute cut and screen it across America in 1977. So this version was eventually made available on DVD and Blu-ray as The Final Cut in 2013. There we go. With every home video released beforehand containing the 87-minute version. So that's why some of it looks a bit different. This makes sense with the whole South Africa thing. As filming occurred between October and November, there were no trees in blossom. The trees in the scenes with the pregnant women had to be brought in and were all handmade. Edward Woodward admitted that one of the memories of filming that stuck out in his mind was watching the trees being brought in on the back of a truck, as he had never seen anything like it. Oh, the lyrics for the popular song Corn Rigs a Bonnie in this movie was written by Robert Burns in 1775. Specifically, Robert Burns as in like the Robert Burns. You know, the one for Burns Night. The reason I say that is because my dad and I, weirdly enough, we're not Scottish, but we celebrate Burns Night. The music was written especially for this movie. So the words were already written by Robert Burns, but their music was written specifically for this movie. Okay, so Corn Rigs, Rigs of Barley was written entirely by Robert Burns in 1782, adapting it to an old Scottish dance air entitled Corn Rigs a Bonnie. The negative and the outtakes of this movie were stored in the vault at Shepperton Studios. After the company was purchased by new owners, they ordered the vault to be cleared of all old material. The vault manager accidentally put the negatives, which just arrived from the lab, with the ones that were to be destroyed. It says it was accidentally put in there. But considering what we read earlier, I don't believe it was accidental, but this other one seems to think it is. Oh my god, Willow's dance scene, the bit in the bedroom, took 13 hours to shoot. I was looking up a second ago, this might be it here, about so when Britt Ekland was dancing, apparently she finished her shoot for the night and then left, got into a limo. This is from something I read a minute ago and it's kind of backed up by this one here. I'll go into that in a second, but she apparently just left. She said, do I need anything else for the day? They went, no, that's it, you're done for the day, thank you. You can go. She went off, got into a limo and left. But what she didn't know is that her body double was there. It says that she was laying on the floor waiting, but surely it was a small room. Surely she would have noticed someone else laying on the floor, etc. So it was probably she was just in another room or whatever, if she was there. And yeah, then they got the body double in, which I said was potentially a body double, but they got the body double in then to do the other naked sort of back shot where it's a full shot of her, because that's not Britt Ekland.
It was Britt Ekland's body double in a wild, nude dancing scene.
One of the directors came over and asked me if I had been told that I looked very like Britt Ekland, and I said no, but They asked, so I did it.
So were you doing the boom, boom,
Yes,
boom, boom?
that was me.
That must have been fun.
It was fun.
In a 2008 interview, director Robin Hardy said it wasn't Jane Jackson or Lorraine Peters, regardless of musical director Gary Carpenter's claim. It was a stripper he hired in Glasgow, Scotland, that vaguely resembled Eklund. He said, "We had to find someone rather quickly. The girl we found in a club was promised back the next day to the place she was performing. To my distress, I discovered she was still with the crew having a good time 2 weeks later." Oh shoot, was she paid for that entire time? I mean, to be fair, if I've been hired onto a film set, I'd just hang out on the film set. Eklund said that she was less than pleased with her body double and wished she had had confidence to do it and to bear all. She confirmed that she was pregnant during the shoot with her son Nikolai, but denied long-standing rumours that this was the real reason she refused to strip. Right, okay. Yeah, she was probably just keeping her own decency. Oh, I did not know. Rod Stewart, at the time, attempted to block the release when he learned that his then-girlfriend, Britt Eklund, appeared naked in the movie. But she didn't. She did not, apparently. It was meant to be at the body double. Oh, and Lord Summerisle's speech, beginning with "I think I could turn and live with the animals," was based on a poem by Walt Whitman. Britt Eklund was pregnant with her son, Nick Adler, while filming, and would only agree to shoot her nude scenes from the waist up. That's one of the reasons why. I thought it was just to keep kind of some level of decency. Yes, we see her chest, but we didn't see the rest of her. Obviously, it's just because she was pregnant. A body double was secretly used for the rear full-body shots of Willow dancing. The scenes were filmed after she had left the set. When shooting was over, Eklund was furious to learn she had been doubled in those shots, but director Robin Hardy said it was Eklund who did not want her bottom to be filmed, as she did not like it. Yeah, to this day, whenever she is approached by fans to autograph still photos of the fully nude scene, she always refuses because, as she continually points out, it is not her. Rightly so. Yeah, if it's not you, why sign it? I suppose it's meant to be her. But yeah, if it's not her, then you get the body double sign instead, wouldn't you? Oh, this bit of trivia here reminds me of something I was going to say. I love the scenes, like the whole snail thing that was there, and certain other scenes that are in, like the egg, for example. It's very symbolic, and I love the symbolism in a lot of the stuff that was in there. Oh, how funny is this? So the girls in the classroom, this is so funny because when I was watching it, I didn't want to be rude against Leslie Mackey, who plays her, but I thought the little girl in it was a lot older than she was. And it turns out, apparently she was. Apparently the girls in the classroom were all supposed to be around age 12, but Leslie Mackey, Daisy, was 21 at the time. So, despite being set in the Hebrides, which are still very largely Gaelic speaking in the 1960s, very little Gaelic actually appears in this movie. Additionally, some of the folk customs alluded to are English rather than Scottish, let alone Highland. Interesting. By the way, in case you're wondering why I say Gaelic instead of Gaelic, because it does look like Gaelic. The Scottish, I only found this out the other day, but apparently the Scottish Gaelic is Gaelic, is how it's said. It's still spelled the same way, Gaelic. And the Irish one is Gaelic. So I know it as Gaelic, but because this is set in Scotland, it's only right that it's Gaelic. But it sounds like I'm saying garlic, like the food. But I'm not. Or Dalek, but with a G. Ah, here we go. Britt Eklund was dubbed by Annie Ross, but I didn't even know she was dubbed. Annie Ross dubbed her potentially because she's from Sweden. Due to the very small budget, most of the cast, including Christopher Lee, worked without pay. I didn't realise that it was most of the cast. I thought it was just him. Half a dozen of the fishermen in the harbour were played by locals from Plockton. They are Peter Geddes, Munro Gillies, who also owned the Evil Eye boat, Kenny, John Mackenzie, Johnny Bowles, McRae, and Tommy Ure. What? Lindsay Kemp, who played Britt Eklund's father in the film, was only 4 years older than her. They look like a bit of an age difference there. Oh, this would have been cool as well. So Christopher Lee offered Peter Cushing the lead role of Sergeant Howie. He turned it down though due to scheduling conflicts. Oh, this is interesting. New York City police detectives screened the film as part of their investigation into the Son of Sam murders. This was due to the killer making reference to the Wicked King Wicker in one of his letters, leading some to believe that there was a connection between the film and the murders. During a break in the filming of the final scene, a member of the wardrobe department ran out to provide coats to the 3 leading actresses. Ingrid Pitt noticed that the extras gathered around them were not being given any protection from the freezing cold weather, and she decided out of solidarity that she didn't have to wear a coat. So the whole thing with apples. Apples feature prominently in Celtic mythology and may give their name to Avalon in Arthurian myth. Cinematographer Harry Waxman was not director Robin Hardy's choice and was forced upon the production by British Lion. The reason was that the executive producers were concerned they would not be able to get the important final shot of the Wicker Man collapsing down in front of the setting sun, and that it would have to be shot using the green screen projection process in the studio, which would have been awful if it had been. I mean, it might have looked okay, but I don't think it would have looked great. I mean, what they could have done with the whole cinematographer thing is they could have just hired that Harry Waxman guy just for that one shot of the Wicker Man statue thing at the end. Then they could have got the cinematographer they wanted and got the person in to keep them happy. Oh, at that time, Waxman was one of the most experienced cameramen in the UK with this format, having used it extensively on The Day the Earth Caught Fire from 1961, among others, and was brought in as insurance. Hardy was very unhappy about not being able to choose his own director of photography and didn't like Waxman personally. Strong words. And as a result, the two men did not get along and disagreed frequently during shooting. So the cave scenes were filmed in the Wookey Hole Caves, a noted tourist attraction located in Somerset. The later comedy horror police procedural film Hot Fuzz, featuring Edward Woodward in the ensemble cast, includes some story parallels with The Wicker Man. There you go. Yes! Editor Marty here. Just really quick, I found this interview from way back in 2007 with Stop Smiling, which was an online exclusive interview with the minds behind Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, so Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, in which they say this about Hot Fuzz and Wicker Man. Simon Pegg says, "We watched 138 action films and Wicker Man was the first film we put in the DVD player. Wicker Man is a fantastic film with so much going on in it, one of the greats. It's a bit of curio and a brilliant movie. It's very lyrical and musical in a way. There's a wonderful central performance from Edward Woodward, who is the grandfather of Nicholas Angel, Simon Pegg's character in Hot Fuzz, which, by the way, I don't think they actually mean grandfather. It's just the term is he's like the grandfather of Nicholas Angel because of him being pretty much the same character but in a different setting and time. Anyway, it says Angel is this fastidious, uptight, absolutely by the book, humorous, blowhard spoil sport. Almost. Nick Frost goes on to say, unfortunately they made that dreadful remake of Wicker Man, which I've not seen. Hopefully people will get around to seeing the original. There you go, like we've done. Anyway, then Edgar Wright goes on to say, what's interesting about Woodward's character is that he's the villain in the film. That's the thing the remake completely effing missed the point of. What we loved about the original Wicker Man, and this is true to some extent in Hot Fuzz, is that the cult, they're kind of in the right. Within their religion, they are entirely justified. As far as they're concerned, they aren't portrayed as particularly evil, even though it's the quintessentially creepy village film. From their point of view, they're right and Edward Woodward is wrong. And he dies for that. I love that about the original Wicker Man. But there are many things to love about Wicker Man. It's a film that seems to have had many lives and will hopefully continue to do so. So there you go, it shows that relation between Hot Fuzz and the Wicker Man. Anyway, back to the video. Oh, here we go. The Standing Stone Circle and the May Day procession was filmed in the gardens of Castle Kennedy. The standing stones in the film were props, but the mound on which they stood can clearly be seen today. It sits at the bottom of the long green running down from the Castle Kennedy ruin. But anyway, going back to the stone circle scene, you know, where they're all prancing around naked. I said that in some of the shots that were there, the girls looked like they weren't actually naked. It says here, the nude scenes with the girls at the stone area was shot with the actresses wearing bodysuits which are see-through. This is most apparent in the still photo where the bottom of the costumes are visible on those facing the camera. See, I noticed it on, there's like a wide shot at one point, and I noticed it on some of the people prancing around near the sort of front of the crowd of people, and it looked like they were wearing leotards or something. But it was weird because they looked like they were wearing them 1 second, and then the next second they weren't. So I wasn't sure if I was just seeing things or if they were wearing something. Right, so I've said the whole Michael Dealey thing about him saying that he hated the film, etc. Apparently, in a 2001 article, Michael Dealey, managing director at the production company British Lion, denied reports that he declared The Wicker Man as one of the 10 worst movies he'd ever seen. Absolute nonsense, he declared. I never said that. I've made worse films than that myself. I thought it was fascinating and genuinely ahead of its time. Then why did you get rid of the film stock? Why did you chuck it into the M3 motorway when it was being built? Well, unless that was the accident, as we read earlier. I don't know. He then goes on to say, but it was also rather indulgent and very difficult for an audience. Indeed, both director Robin Hardy and writer Anthony Schaefer have confirmed Dealey's assessment, reporting that the marketing men at British Lion were aghast when first shown The Wicker Man. According to Schaefer, when the lights went up, they just said, "Is that it? Don't the cavalry come?" Hardy remembers that they simply declared it unsaleable. Arses. Okay, here we go. Repeatedly throughout the film, the humpback character Punch from the puppet show Punch and Judy is referred to as a pagan ritual figure, supposedly of ancient origins. Punch is actually a British adaptation of a stock character from the Italian Commedia dell'arte, apologies if that's not the way you say it, which is comedy of the profession, called Pulcinella. Or I thought it was Punchinella, but it's Pulcinella written here. So he's not part of the whole pagan thing. Yeah, a lot of people have said that there's not really much deeper identity to Punch. It's just a representation of being a fool. This movie is also known as the Citizen Kane of horror movies by Cine Fantastique magazine. We've watched Citizen Kane as well here on the channel. So, okay. The temperatures were so cold during filming that, in order to prevent their breath from showing, the actors had to suck on ice cubes between takes. If that's true, that's interesting. Genius way of stopping the breath from appearing on screen. Alternatively, you could have shot it at a warmer time of the year. Anyway, guys, I've gone through a fair amount of that trivia, so I think I'm going to leave it there. We've read quite a lot of it. We found out some really interesting things. I think that's answered most of my questions that I had with the film about how they filmed things and how they did certain things. Well, the only other thing I want to find out is how they did the Wicker Man burning scene. Oh, according to Britt Ekland, some animals were perished in the Wicker Man, whereas Robin Hardy said in an interview that great care was taken to ensure that the animals were in no danger of being hurt during this scene and that they were not inside the Wicker Man when it was set on fire. However, you do see them in the shots together when they are set on fire. It might not be, it might be camera trickery, but it looks like they're right underneath. It doesn't look like any, effects were done there. The fire looks like it's there. Right, guys, I've gone through most of the trivia there. I hope you really enjoyed that. I was trying to find little tad bits of information there. Kind of answered a lot of the questions I had in regards to it and how they did certain things and why certain scenes were added in. A brilliantly terrific film that I really, really love, and I hope you guys liked watching it with me. Again, if you want to see the full uncut reaction to this, you can see it over on the Patreon page. And there was so many bits of information just reading up about the trivia. I do hope you enjoyed the trivia stuff that I do at the end of these, and it's always interesting to find, especially with films like this, always interesting to find out the background as to why they chose something specific in the film, or maybe why an actor did a certain thing. And whilst we didn't find out too much about other actors, we found out quite a bit about Britt Ekland and certain things to do with Edward Woodward and Christopher Lee as well. If you guys have got any other information, I delved into a lot of the trivia that was there. There was still tons more trivia that I wish I had time to just go through everything, but I hope you really liked it. And if you've got any other bits of trivia that you'd like to let me know or to let others find and discover in the comment sections, then please feel free to leave us a comment. It'd be interesting to read them, and I do read the comments and I try to reply back at some point. Okay, so as you know, at the end of my film reactions, I most of the time do some kind of word or quote to put down in the comments to let me know secretly that you've watched this. The secret phrase is, "Don't keep the Wicker Man waiting." I think it's a really interesting saying, and even though I don't remember, it's probably one of the things they chanted, but even though I don't remember it specifically being in the film, it's a good tagline. And it's a good secret phrase for this video as well. If you did like this, then consider clicking the like button. I massively appreciate it. But I also massively appreciate you just watching this, even if you don't do anything else. If you'd like to see things more like this, or more other things that I watch, because I watch also Classic Who, I watch other shows, but mainly I watch films. Anyway, thank you so much. Take it easy, guys. Take care, stay safe, and I hope you're having a really amazing day. Don't forget, don't keep the Wicker Man waiting. Bye-bye.
There was a tinker lived of late who walked the streets of Rye. He bore his pack upon his back, patches and plugs did cry. Oh, I have brass within my bag, my hammer's full of metal, and as to skill, I well can clout and mend a broken kettle. For patching and plugging is my delight. My work goes forward day and night.